I'm Heather Moore, and this is the Cable News Roundup for August 26th. I'll start with Fox News and the O'Reilly factor. Jorge Ramos asked Donald Trump a question at a Q&A in Iowa out of turn. O'Reilly criticizes the journalist on a personal level because the Univision reporter also said that a wall across the Mexican border is a waste of money and time. They talk about the possibility of Joe Biden entering the presidential election, and O'Reilly talks about the WDBJ Virginia news team shot and killed on live TV. They talk a lot about the killer himself, who was an ex-employee of the station. On the Kelly File, they speak to the family and boyfriend of Allison Parker, one of the journalists killed in Virginia. Kelly interviews Jorge Ramos, the journalist who tried to ask Trump about his immigration policy and was then kicked out of the Q&A. Ramos says he finds Trump's ideas on immigration dangerous. On Hannity, they talk about Jorge Ramos. They say the American immigrant is not a good journalist because he has strong feelings about immigration, and those feelings don't align with their own personal feelings. A former colleague of the Murder Virginia news team is a guest, and Rand Paul is a guest who called Donald Trump a fake conservative. Switching over to MSNBC, I'll end with Chris Hayes. He talks about the shooting of the news team in Virginia on live TV. Scott Walker has started campaigning in favor of weakening ties with China since the stock market dip earlier this week. On the Rachel Maddow show, she talks about past clashes between reporters and politicians and compares it with Jorge Ramos' clash with Donald Trump. Trump is polling very well, but polling very poorly with Latino voters and now Asian American voters. And she talks about the Virginia news station who had to cover the shooting of their colleagues on the same day. The last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Undersecretary of State Wendy Sherman is on to talk about why the Iran nuclear deal is our best bet. And then O'Donnell talks about gun laws, how there should be policy change now that these two Virginia journalists were killed, and he talks to the general manager of the Virginia news station about how hard it was to cover the story the same day the two reporters died. So now you know.